So good morning, everybody. My thought for you this week that I have been letting myself fall into is kind of working with the energy from the Mandukya Upanishad. And that whole Upanishad is purely on the experience of Om. That's what the whole thing is about. It's about Om. But it's about Om as being the reality that there's an underlying energy that supports all kinds of perception that we have. And by all kinds of perception, it means not just what your mind and your senses experience when you're awake, but even the experience of being asleep, either dreaming or they say even in the deepest sleep, is there's still this underlying energy that goes even beyond that. And that underlying energy that goes beyond everything that we are able to perceive in a very personal and experiential way, they say that's the energy that is the basis for just life, right? For just being, for just consciousness. And so this week I felt like that's really what I need, is to remember that there is this basicness to everything. There's this easefulness to everything that you can lay over top of it, as many stories and experiences and memories and ideas. You can layer over top of it so many things. And that's what we do, is we layer over top of it. And that's what we feel is our reality, our personality. But that if you let yourself drop beyond that, is what you hit is this layer of simplicity. And that layer of simplicity, they say that when our mind rests there, that's the enlightened state, right? That layer of simplicity is where it no longer feels like we're trying to run after anything or achieve anything or avoid anything, but we're really able to just live. And that's been sort of my own inner mantra for this week, is can you just live? Can you just do what's in front of you without looking for something else? So the little, old Buddhist saying that I've been using earlier this week was, before enlightenment, I chopped wood and carried water. And after enlightenment, I chopped wood and carried water, right? Because the only difference between those two experiences is what our mind is seeing. If our mind is looking for something more, then the simple and easy, and not always easy, but the simple and the mundane, if we're looking for something more, then we're going to get pulled away from that basic reality. We're going to get pulled away from that feeling of wholeness. But if we're looking at what's in front of us and saying, this is enough, this is plenty for me to know myself, this is plenty for me to feel that there's a reason to be. If we have that, then we don't need anything else. And wouldn't that be amazing, to live your life without this feeling that I need something else in order to feel whole, that I need something else in order to feel like this life is meaningful? So this becomes the practice, is getting to that basic level of simplicity where you can look at what's in front of you and say, this is just life. As complicated as it is, as dramatic as it might look, as difficult as it might feel or not, it's just life. So instead of looking for what's the right way through, can you just live? Right? And can you take what's in front of you and not wish for it to be something different, something more? There's always the opportunity to do more, but don't take away from what you already have. Even in that simplest, most mundane way, don't take away from it, because that is the essence of what it is to be here, to be, period. Right? So comfortable seat, if you're not there already, let the eyes close. Chance to give your mind a break from all of that seeking. Or we practice yoga, we practice meditation to bring the mind back into a feeling of unity with that inner state. And say, how do you actually unite the mind with the spirit? How do you actually unite the mind with the universal? Well, you realize that it's what's underlying your ability to do and be anything. Find your breath. And let your mind become the same as the flow of the breath. So you can actually feel the mind moving with the inhale. Wherever it goes, it doesn't matter. And with the exhale, wherever it goes, it doesn't matter. Your mind is just following that flow. When the mind and the breath become united, they're really one and the same in our perception. The mind starts to gain clarity over all of those layers of perception, all of those layers of being. Because the breath is already universal. The mind is the only piece that forgets. So breathe your mind, inhale, and exhale, feel it become fluid. Even if it just feels like the breath is like a little bit of that ocean wave lapping against the mind, it gives it a little tug here or there. And then let go of any desire to achieve anything. There's pose after pose after pose and breath after breath after breath. It's all the same. There's nothing to achieve except this feeling of being united in this moment, being whole in this moment. And even that, you've already done it. Your mind just hasn't noticed. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then bringing the hands together in front of the heart center, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands. Bring your hands to your knees or your thighs as you stay seated and just start to cat-cow your spine. Good. Nice. So use your hands as an anchor, please. So your arms might stay a little bit straighter, but you're using that connection to the knees to really pull your spine as long as it can go in both directions. You might feel yourself, I hope you feel yourself rocking a little bit on the pelvis so that the pelvis is actually moving forward and back as well. Good. Nice, you guys. A couple more breaths, move your spine. A lot of the physical practice of yoga is we move the body so that the breath can become more full, so that wherever there is stagnation or there's tightness or there's restriction through your body cavities, asana opens it up. Why? So that the breath can flow more completely, so that you can be more united with that universal flow. Good. Come back to stillness, please. Nice job. Take the arms up alongside your ears. Reach tall. Deep breath in. Good. And then release the hands out and down. So you're reaching out and down through the fingertips. Let your hands come down just behind your hips so that you can lean back onto the arms. So walk your hands back, hands straight or arms straight. Good. You can turn your fingers back if you want to. Good. So Kristen, you could do this sitting on your heels. Just walk your hands back. Good. Because I just want you to feel that length of your arms and the stretch of your shoulders up into your chest. So you're leaning back and you're lifting your chest nice and high, but you're softening the front rib cage in so you get that nice extension through the arms and that wideness through the chest. That's what I want. Good. One more breath. Reach long through your throat. Nice. And then walk yourself back up. Beautiful. And then roll forward onto hands and knees, please. Good. And then stretch your right arm out wide to the right. Slide behind the left wrist, right shoulder finds the floor. Walk the left arm forward to straight. Thread the needle. Nice. Really, really simple things can be very powerful. And it's in those really, really simple things that if you find yourself rushing through them or rushing to get away from them or feeling like they're meaningless, that's automatically taking something away from your experience of living. And no one else did it, right? You took it away from yourself when we let the mind go that way. Good. Take that left arm up to the sky if you'd like. Turn the palm to face back, bend the elbow, reach around to find your outer right hip. So take the little bind, but keep letting your elbow fall forward towards your belly. So let the arm fall onto your lower back a little bit more. And then really work at moving the left upper chest wider. Good. And pushing into that right upper arm so that you're not collapsing onto your neck. Nice. Scoop the belly. Good. And then release that arm back up to the sky, please. Come all the way back up to hands and knees, unwind. And then go to the second side. Take your left arm out and wide. Good. Slide behind the right wrist, shoulder finds the floor. Walk the right arm forward towards straight. Yeah. Good. It is a little bit ridiculous because most of our day is made up of routines, right? Things that we do habitually, things that have to be done every day in order for, taking care of your body, your house, your mind, your loved ones. And somehow we start to look at those things as being what doesn't matter because we want to get to the other things that are unique or are interesting or that we think are us achieving something. And so we take our mind away from the meaning of what it is to feed your dog or to make breakfast for your family or, to go to bed on time so that you won't be tired the next morning. We start to disregard those things. Press into that left arm, take your right arm up to the sky. Turn the palm to face back, bend the elbow, reach around to find your outer left hip. And again, you're letting the elbow and the forearm fall forward onto your back. So you're not pulling through the elbow, but you're lifting your right upper chest higher. Like you're pulling your right shoulder towards your right ear a little bit. Good, it's gonna give you a little bit more space to open. And then keep pushing through that left upper arm that's on the floor. Good. Nice, you guys. And then slowly release, extend that right arm back up towards the sky, unwind, come back up to hands and knees. Good. Walk your fingertips straight ahead, knees still underneath the hips. Come up on your fingertips, modified downward facing dog. And up on your fingertips, just let yourself move a little bit into like a subtle cat-cow. So as you're inhaling, you're lifting the heart up just a little bit. As you're exhaling, you're rounding in a little bit, like a micro cat-cow. So not a whole big movement, but I want the arms in that extended position, that long stretch through your armpits. And then move your spine. So keep your knees on the floor, Robin. You're just doing a modified. Good. Nice, you guys. I want you to feel the length of your arms as it pulls into your shoulders and your upper chest. So if your arms are not walked out far enough, move them out further. Good. Nice. And then just find yourself coming to a neutral spine, but letting yourself drop a little lower, letting the shoulders drop a little lower as you lift up through your armpits, letting the heart melt towards the floor. Good, so your chest is staying wide, you're hugging those hands back just a little bit, but you're allowing the front ribs, the front of the chest to start to melt towards the floor as your low belly draws up to protect the lower spine. Good, keep letting yourself drop, keep letting yourself drop, keep letting yourself drop. Doesn't matter how far you go. The idea is, can you start to feel what it's like to get softer in your upper back? Good. And then walk yourself back in. So hands come back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Good. Nice, you guys. And then right foot steps forward between the hands, lunge. Take your back heel to 45 degrees. You could step that foot a little wider to the left if you need. Warrior one, take the arms up to the sky. Good. Nice, you guys. Really pull through that back thigh. So for a moment, straighten your front leg. So you take your weight more into the back leg entirely. Lift up through the front of your hip points. Send your outer hips, left outer hip spinning forward. So your back hip spins forward. So you move your right low belly wider. Good. And then squeeze your feet towards each other. Good. And then bend your front knee. Move your thighs wide away from each other, but keep squeezing the feet towards each other. And keep that energy of pulling back through your back heel, through your back ankle. Good. Scoop the belly. Send that right knee forward a little more. Nice. And then take your arms out wide, please. Letter T. Good. Cross your left arm over top of right in front of your chest, wrapping the arms for eagle. Good. Make little circles with the elbows. So move the arms, move the shoulders. Keep that front knee steady over the front ankle. Good. And I feel like I'm giving you a break that warrior one is easier and softer to do this in than high lunge or a bunch of other poses. So, you know, being nice to you. Good. Deep breath in, steady the elbows, lift up just a little higher. So again, you're pulling long through the arms as they hug into the chest. Pull the armpits back. Good. And then release, please, stretching the arms up alongside your ears. Beautiful. And then bring those hands down to the floor. Good. Both hands inside the front foot. Back heel is still on the floor. Walk to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Good. Up on fingertips. Squeeze that right hip back and in. Keep pulling through that back thigh. Good. Nice, you guys. Lift and spread the toes of your front foot. So again, you're staying very awake in that front leg. And you're moving your inner knee wider just a little bit, Susan W. Good. Nice, you guys. And then let your elbows bend. Let yourself drop in just a little bit more towards the inside of that front knee. Good. Beautiful. And then walk it back towards the top of your mat, please. Come forward, straighten your front thigh, come into Parsvottanasana. You can turn those left toes forward even a little bit more. If you need to step the foot forward, you can. Good, but straighten both legs, hips facing straight ahead. Use blocks if you'd like, Parsvottanasana. Good. Nice, you guys. Scoop into your low belly, push your butt to the sky, and drop your forehead towards your shin. So round your back. Yeah. Don't focus on the extension of the spine at this moment. Just work through the legs, pull into your low belly, pull your butt to the sky, and let gravity do what it's going to do with your upper body. It doesn't matter where it goes. Just work the legs. Good. Nice, you guys. Your asana practice should always be for what your body is really experiencing now. Instead of there's a perfect way to do this pose, well, there's an awareness of what am I using this pose in order to open in myself. As the body opens, as the mind opens, then many, many, many things become accessible that didn't seem like they were a moment ago. You have to start where you are. One more breath, scoop your belly, push your butt to the sky, pull back on that front leg so that you come up on the heel, lift your toes, just in case you weren't really using that back thigh, in case you weren't really engaging through that front leg. Now you kind of have to. Dig that front heel down and back, curl your toes back, pull up like you're pulling your thigh up into your hip socket. Good. Still round in your back, so it doesn't matter where the upper chest is going. Awesome, you guys. And then release that foot flat to the floor, please. Good. Bend that right knee, walk your fingertips forward, step up, standing split. Use blocks under the hands if you need. Nice. Good, you guys. So if you can, left hand stays where it is, right hand comes to your outer shin. That's if you can, so your outer shin. Good. If you need both hands on the floor, keep them there. Good. And I want you to bend that right knee. So you're bending your standing knee, and I want you to push wide through your shin and your outer knee into that hand. And at the same time, push through the big toe mound of that right foot. So you're really working that standing leg. And then scoop your belly, send your right inner thigh back and wide, push your left inner thigh wide, and then start to push your butt back up to the sky. Take the leg to straight, but keep pushing wide into your hand. So the hand is a reference for you to keep pushing wide. Good. So you get that inner thigh to start working. You get your inner shin to start working. Nice, you guys. And then go ahead, maybe for those of you who have one hand there already, take both hands to your ankle and balance, or stay where you are and just let yourself bow a little deeper. Nice. Good, you guys. Release the hands back to the floor, please. Step back to lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. Good. So I said lunge specifically because I wanted you to take a breath and say, I'm actually coming back into a pose. I'm not just falling to the floor. Good. Slide forward, plank pose, upward push up. Lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need to, the belly. Good. Rise up, cobra, lift head, neck, and chest. Nice. And then come back, downward facing dog. Good. And then left foot comes forward between the hands, please. Good. Back heel comes to 45 degrees. Come up to warrior one. Inhale the arms alongside your ears. Good. And then just take both legs to straight so that you automatically take more of your weight. You move your pelvis back so your back thigh gets a little bit more awareness. Your back foot doesn't have to reach so much for where is their solid ground. And then turn your outer right hip forward. Take your left low belly wide. Squeeze your feet towards each other, but pull your inner thighs away. So you're actually straightening the legs more in opposite directions. You're pulling them away. Good. And then maintain that, scoop the belly in and up so that you've got that lift through your front of your body. Bend your left knee, come back into warrior one. Good. But I want you coming back into warrior one with that feeling that your back rib cage is still moving to the back of your mat, that your awareness is still moving into that back thigh more than to the front thigh. Good. Nice, you guys. And then stretch the arms out wide, letter T. Good. Take the right arm on top of left in front of your chest. Should be the opposite as what you did before. If it's not, just change it. And then start to circle the elbows in your eagle arms. Good. Nice little circles, so don't make it a big deal. Good. Making bigger or faster circles is not necessarily going to open your chest faster. It's not going to open your shoulders faster, so be mindful. Good. This is feeling the connection of my arms to my upper chest and back. And where is the restriction happening and where is it not happening? Where is breath able to easily flow and where is it not? Because the whole point is to unite the mind with the breath, with this moment as it is. Good. Come back to stillness. Lift the elbows a little bit higher. So again, you're breathing wider through the back. Good. And then release the arms. Take the arms up and around. Inhale the breath. Nice. And then release the hands down to the floor, both hands inside the front foot. Walk to the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Keep your back heel on the floor. So your legs are still in warrior one. So you got to pull your left butt cheek in so it's not pushing out to the side. Pull it back and in. Other way, Jane, you got it. Good. And that back thigh still has to be spiraling. So the inner thigh is pulling up, but you're pressing through the baby toe edge of your foot. So the inner thigh goes up one way. The shin is wrapping the other way. Good. Nice. And then again, maybe bend your elbows, let yourself go a little deeper inside that front knee without letting the knee fall open too much. There you go. Good, Robin. Good, Harriet. Good. And when you drop in a pose, when you let yourself go deeper, are you doing it with a harshness in your mind that says, I got to push myself there? Or are you really just letting go and seeing where your body will take you? It's curiosity. Good. Walk yourself back towards center, towards the top of your mat. Good. Start to straighten both legs. If you need to step that right foot forward a little bit more, turn the toes forward a little bit more, you can. Parsvottanasana. Blocks underneath the hands if you need. Good. And again, get round in your back so that you're doing more work through the abdominals, that you're actually pulling up through your belly. You're actually rounding through your back rib cage, because I want your legs to be really engaged. I'm not so interested in how far the upper body is going. So focus on the legs curling up through the low belly, push the sacrum up to the sky. Again, feel the inner thighs pulling away from each other in opposite directions. So that right inner thigh is pulling up and back towards the wall behind you. That front inner thigh is actually pulling forward. The front shin is pulling forward, but then you squeeze your feet together. Right? So you're keeping the energized feeling of your legs are awake the whole time. They're not just holding you static. Good. But then relax through the upper back, relax through the upper body, because it doesn't need to do anything specific right now. Beautiful. The whole of everything is Om. And all of Om is the experience of Brahman, the energy that is underlying all that is. And it's uniform, right? All of these ideas, perceptions that we have, that it changes, that it has beginnings and middles and ends, all of that we associate with Om and with life in general, because it's all the same energy. So if you are making categories out of your life, out of your experiences, and deciding that some of them are meaningful, some of them are enlightening, and some of them are not, that's your mind running away from that unity. So can you come to a place where you accept that, as boring as this moment might be, or as uncomfortable because you're working hamstrings and parts of your body that maybe aren't happy here, that this is it. This is life. This is no better than no worse than any other moment than you're ever going to have. So can you love this one for what it is? And then with your next breath, please come up on the heel of the left foot. Lift your toes so that you have comparison. And now you can say, oh yeah, maybe I like that for that last moment a little better because maybe this one doesn't feel as good. Good. Drag that heel down and back. Pull your left thigh up, up, up into the hip socket. Pull your belly up, up, up. Push your butt to the sky. Don't fall into the gravity of the tightness of your leg. Pull up away from that. Good. And then release that left foot down to the floor. Nicely done, you guys. Bend the knee, walk your fingertips forward, step up, standing split. Right thigh comes parallel to the floor. Again, using blocks under the hands if you need. Good. And then if it's available, if you need both hands on the floor, keep them there. But if you can, take your left hand to your outer left shin or right to the outside of your left knee. Either one works. And then you're going to bend your left knee, your standing leg. Good. And you're going to bend it enough so that you feel a little release in your pelvis. And then I want that inner knee pushing wide, inner shin pushing wide. So push out into your hand and re-anchor your big toe mound. Scoop your low belly, push your butt a little higher. Good. Keep that left knee bent. Yeah, and then start to, from there, as you push the butt higher, kick that right thigh a little higher, and then start to straighten your left leg. Good. Keep pushing wide, though. Your shin pushes wide, your knee pushes wide. Don't stop doing that. Even if your hand isn't there, don't stop doing that. And then maybe you take both hands to the shin or the ankle for balance. Maybe you stay right where you are and just let yourself drop a little deeper. Really good, Kristen. Nice, Jane. Nice, Andy. Good, Alice. Nice, Robin. Good. And then release the hands back to the floor, please. Good job. Step back to lunge. So again, for a moment, you feel that long stretch on the back thigh, and then come back to downward facing dog. Beautiful, you guys. If your feet are together in dog, move them just a little bit apart so that you've got some space. And then right hand comes right in front of the crown of your head, or just move it a little bit more center. Reach the left hand back for your right ankle. Yep, left hand reaches back for right ankle. Good, little twisting down dog. So that right armpit has to stay lifted. Your hips are still pulling back. I want you to still feel that long extension through the entire arm into the armpit, into the waist even. Pull your hips back, pull your thighs back, and push your shins wide. So push out into your hands. Good. And then bend the elbow and pull yourself in a little deeper. Look underneath that right armpit. Yes, very good. And then unwind yourself, come back to center and switch to the other side. So your left hand maybe comes a little bit more center in front of you. Reach the right hand back for the left ankle or shin, reaching to the outside of the leg if that's possible. Good. And then again, you're pushing wide through your shins. So your shins are pushing out, your inner knees are pushing out, but your heels are not going out. Your heels are staying straight behind second toe. Good. And you're finding that long extension. Don't fall into your left hand. Pull your hips back in space. That's it. And then give that right arm, that right elbow a little bit of a bend so that you can look underneath your left armpit a little bit deeper. Turn the belly, turn your ribs. Good, Jane. Nice, Susan C. Nice, Lynn. And then release, please. Come on back to center, please. Downward facing dog. Good. Step the right foot forward between the hands. Lunge. Good. Drop the back knee, please. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Come on down to your forearms if you'd like, or onto blocks. Good. Or stay on fingertips. That might be just where you want to be. And even here, can you focus a little bit on that pushing wide through your inner thigh? So here, if we let the knee go too far, falling out to the side, is we start to lose the actual power of the inner thigh. So I don't want your knee to fall out, but I want your inner thigh to push wide. So I want you to feel like you're pushing your right butt cheek away from your left butt cheek. Good. Yeah, nowhere else will you hear someone tell you to do that. Pull your right butt cheek away from your left butt cheek without using your hands. Good. Nice, you guys. So all of that kind of pushing wide energy is what helps to open up the outer hips. It's what helps to balance the outer leg and the inner leg. Good. And all of that is just so that there can be an easefulness of your breath, an easefulness of your prana through your body. There's nothing to achieve through these poses except for that basic sense of wholeness. So keep bringing the mind into the breath instead of into the pose. Good. So the pose is just a pose. It's just a moment. Nice, you guys. One more breath where you are. And then if you can, if you're on your forearms, turn your left forearm parallel to the top of your mat so that you can hold your right ankle with your left hand and take your right arm to the sky. Yep, you got it, Susan. Good. Just let that elbow drop down. Nice. Good, Dana. Just don't let your knee fall wide. Good. You can also just come into the spinal twist with the left hand on the floor and the right arm to the sky if reaching on the forearm doesn't work. Nice, you guys. Good. So you can fall onto that elbow a little bit more. Let your throat go back. Let your heart go back. Let your chest open more. Nice. Good, Tom. Good, Robin. Good, Laura. Nice, Jessica. And then for those of you holding the ankle, can you scoop your belly and go a little deeper into your lunge? Yeah, of course you can. There you go. Good. And then slowly release. Come all the way back out. Good. Plant the hands, please. Tuck your back toes. Lift the back knee. Take your right leg up and back, down dog split. Good. Kick that thigh a little higher. Bend the knee. Take your heel in towards your butt. Keep the knee pointing down. Pull your arms up into your shoulder socket. Start to lift your chest forward towards your hands. And the back of your throat pulls up. That space behind the heart gets softer. Good. Keep that thigh kicking up. Scorpion, little variation, scorpion. So pull that heel in. Keep the thigh lifted. Good. Try and move your heel slightly to the outside of your right hip. So you're changing the angle just a little bit. Good. One more deep breath, you guys. Pull up, pull up, pull up through your hips. Yes. And then release the upper back. Stretch that right leg back behind you. Down dog split. Beautiful. And then bring that right knee forward and wide for pigeon. Sorry, Jane, we're doing a lot of knees bent. But if you need to be on your back for pigeon instead of on your front, that's totally okay. Good. Send your outer left hip forward. That's your back hip. Right low belly pulls wide. Nice. And then walk yourself forward, please, onto fingertips. Before you get completely settled, I want you to walk yourself towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat. So move your upper body towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat. And stretch through the side body. Yep. Good. And then move yourself back to center. Walk yourself to the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Stretch the other way, so you're pulling your right side body, your right low belly away from your right hip. Good, and you're still in pigeon. Nice. And then walk yourself back towards center and let yourself rest in whatever your favorite position is. And if you really liked one side or the other, or even if you really didn't like it, but it felt like it was actually opening something for you, walk yourself back to whichever side felt like it was giving you space to breathe. This is the whole point of asana. It's not to discover how to be comfortable in the pose. It's how to discover how to be comfortable in yourself. And we get comfortable in ourselves when we're not caught in that layer of just perception, 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 or memory. I say when the mind is not anchored to something, that's what it does. It has no real ability to utilize its perceptions. It just gets confused. It gets stuck. We anchor the mind. That's what a yoga practice is. We anchor the mind. And by anchoring it, it starts to become clear. It starts to become smooth, less distracted. We haven't changed the contents of the mind, but we allow the mind to become less distracted. And then the contents of the mind change themselves. Good. Keep finding your breath and your mind flowing together. Your mind is not looking for there to be anything else happening in this pose, and you're not trying to avoid what is there in the first place. Good. And then walk yourself back up onto your hands, please. Bend your back knee, kick your heel in towards your butt if that's available. Reach back, same hand, same foot for the thigh or for the ankle, quad stretch. Good. And again, if reaching for the ankle doesn't feel like it's a good idea, don't reach for it. Just bend the knee, use the power of the thigh to keep that heel up, and then press that thigh and that knee down and pull it forward. And then scoop into your belly. So keep the other hand on the floor. Scoop into your belly and pull your right hip back so it's in line with your left. Pull your right rib cage back so it's in line with your left. So you're not twisting open at all. You're actually squaring everything to the front of your mat. Good, but I want you to push into the legs, feel that kind of lift of your pelvis, and pull your right hip, your right rib cage back, and try to feel that you can settle your right sit bone down to the floor. Yep. Good. Yeah. You're like, oh, I've never wanted to do that in pigeon, thanks. And then slowly release. Good job, you guys. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, downward facing dog. Good. Being able to reach your foot in a quad stretch in pigeon is not the goal. Knowing that by reaching your foot, you can create openness and space through the leg up into the pelvis. That's the benefit. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Nice. Drop the back knee, please. Take both hands inside the front foot. Walk to the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Come on down onto your forearms if you'd like, or blocks. Good. And again, trying not to let the knee fall wide. So try and keep it in right on top of the ankle, but try to push your left butt cheek wider away from your right butt cheek and pull your right inner thigh and butt cheek away from your left butt cheek. So you're widening from the inner thigh and you're drawing that inner knee in. Good. So it stays really stable. Nice. But that pushing wide energy is the one that's really going to help open the pelvis and allow it to not only be more stable, but more flexible as well. Good. This is where we tend to get weak from doing a lot of sitting or a lot of standing, a lot of habitual motion that doesn't use the full range of our pelvis or the full range of our legs. We get weak on those inner thighs. We get weak on the muscles that are our stabilizers. So that pushing wide is really, really helpful. Good. And even that, you start to get into the physiology and your mind wants to run with that. Don't run with it. Right? Your job here is to feel. For the moment, it's my job to think. The pose is your opportunity to feel fully complete where you are. Good. Nice, you guys. And then go ahead, if you are on your elbows, turn the right forearm so that you can reach your right hand to your left ankle. Take your left arm to the sky. Alternatively, you can have the right hand on the floor, left arm to the sky, and spinal twist. Good. And then on your forearm, it's especially easy to fall back on that right forearm. Let your chest move back, let your ribs move back, let your throat move back. Good. Don't let your left knee fall open though. Keep it straight up and down. Move your belly back more. Good. And then scoop your belly. Maybe let yourself go a little deeper into that lunge. Nice, you guys. And then slowly release. Good. Bringing the hands back down to the floor. Come on back up. Lift the back knee. Take your left leg up and back, down dog split. Good. Bend the knee. Kick your heel in towards your butt. Knee points down. And from here, so you're sending your outer left hip down towards the floor a little more. So you're leveling your pelvis, and that's going to help bring your heel angled out towards the outer edge of your hip. So that's what I want you to do, is to point your knee down so much that you're angling your heel towards the outer edge of your hip. Good. So Dana, you've gone a little too far. Good. Laura, you could go a little further. Mark, you're a good spot. Good. Tom, move your heel a little wider towards the outside of your hip. Yeah. Perfect. Good. Now maintain that angle and lift the thigh back up. Push through the heel. Good. And then send the arms up into the shoulder socket. Lift your chest forward, forward, forward. And as the back of the heart arches up, keep your low belly engaged. Pull back through the tops of your thighs. So you're still in that downward facing dog energy. You're still pulling long through your spine. That right leg is getting a really awesome, exciting stretch. Good. Lift through your left heel. Yeah. Nice. And then release the upper body. Stretch the left leg straight back behind you. Down dog split. Beautiful. And then bring that knee forward and wide, pigeon pose on the other side. Again, you can be on your back if you need. Flex that front foot a lot in your pigeon pose. Good. Move that outer right hip forward, spin the left hip back, and then walk yourself straight ahead. Good. And before you get comfortable, walk yourself first towards the upper left-hand corner of your mat, so moving towards the bent knee. Again, so you get a little bit more awareness of how long you are from your shoulder all the way down the outer edge of your hip, your leg, all the way to that outer heel. Good. And then come back to center, please. Walk to your right, to upper right-hand corner of your mat. Good. And then come back to center, please, and either rest there in whatever arm position is your preference, or if you want to go back to either side, if it felt like it was really doing something magical for you, move yourself there. Good. It's suggested in the Mandukya Upanishad. It says only meditate, or all you need to meditate on is Om. But don't meditate on it intellectually, like we do sometimes, and we start to ascribe so much meaning to it that, well, this syllable means this, and that syllable means that, and this sound means this. And all of that is absolutely what it is. And also it limits the experience of Om by getting your mind into that layer of perception. So can you meditate on the full experience of just being immersed in being, of really understanding that concept that Om comes from nothing and goes back to nothing. That it's an emanation of an energy that looks like it's changing form, but it's not changing at all. Can you meditate on that and feel that that's the truth of your own life? That it looks like it's changing all the time, but the energy that it is the same. It's just life. Just life, and you're just you. That wondering, what even is my spirit? What is my heart? What is my mind? Stop wondering and feel. Because what is it? It's all Brahman, all the same energy. No further definition really required. So this is it. This is life right now. Everything you feel and don't feel, everything you're doing or not doing, this is it. Can you want what this is and not look for something else? Go ahead, walk yourself back up, please, back onto the hands. Good. Bend your back knee, kick your heel in towards your butt. And again, you're optional to reach back for the foot or the ankle. Same hand, same foot. So not the twisting quad stretch, just a regular old boring quad stretch, if there is such a thing. You can also not reach back for the foot and just use the energy of the thigh to do that. And then push down through that right knee and thigh and pull forward. So drag forward on that back leg so that you can feel that you can lift the front of your pelvis up a little bit. So you can push into that left hand and lift your butt just a little bit so that you have space to actually maneuver your pelvis. And then lift your low belly, try to drop that left butt cheek back down towards the floor as you lift up in that quad stretch. Good, so you get a little bit more stretch through the front of your right thigh and your left butt cheek is reaching for the floor. Yeah. Chest stays lifted. Awesome, you guys. Good, Susan. Both Susans. And then slowly release the leg, please. Nice job. Plant that back foot, lift the back knee, take the left leg up and back. Good. And then both feet find the floor, deep breath in. Nice. And then bring the knees to the floor, please. Do a little cat and cow. You can add some hip circles into that if you'd like. Good. And then drop yourself back into child's pose. Let the knees go wide, big toes together to touch, hips back to your heels. Good. Press into your feet, press into your shins in your child's pose. And give a little bit of a squeeze of your inner knees, like you're going to hug your outer ribs, and then try and pull those sit bones wide apart. Good. So again, it's being a little bit more consciously active in your child's pose. But being consciously active is what's going to continue to take this position that is designed to help open the legs, the back, the hips, and give it more energy, more power to do so. Good. And then relax the heart in your child's pose. Nice. And then walk yourself back up, please. Beautiful. Come to sit on your butt, legs out in front of you. Right leg stays extended. Bend the left knee in towards your chest. Good. Let the knee drop wide, bottom of the foot to the inside of the right thigh. Good. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Yeah, a little twist to your right, and then bow over the right thigh. Good, you guys. Watch what your toes are doing. So if you can, pull back on the baby toe edge of your foot a little bit faster and push through the big toe mound. Good. So it's like you're trying to level the bottom of your foot so that the inside of the leg, the outside of the leg are in concert. They're at the same length, with the same energy. So baby toe pulls back, big toe pushes forward slightly. Good. And then optional here, if you're happy where you are, stay. If you'd like to come into a little bit of a twist, you're gonna walk that left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Yep, so left hand to outside of right ankle, and you can push against that. So forearm can push against, or hand can push against. Start to turn your ribs open to the right. Right hand can come to your lower back here. Right hand can come behind your head, or you can, for some of you, extend that right arm over the ear. Good. And maybe you can twist deep enough, turn your belly enough that that right hand can reach for your right foot. So you're in a twist, but both hands are reaching for the foot. Yeah, you got it, Susan. Both Susans. Good job. Nice, Alice. Nice, Jessica. Good, Jane. Just draw your throat back. Yeah, don't let that right knee fall inward, you guys. Keep pushing the inner knee and inner shin wide. Awesome. Slowly release, unwind yourself back to center. Good. Come on up. Nice job. Beautiful. And then bring that left knee back up towards your chest. Squeeze it in. And then you're reaching your right hand to your, so lift that left foot up off the floor. Right hand reaches for the baby toe edge of your left foot. So you're turning your belly the other direction now. And you're going to extend that left leg straight forward from the hip. Good. So don't let it fall inward. Keep pushing it wide. Inner thighs wide, inner knees wide. Turn your belly to the left. Stretch that left arm straight out from the shoulder, or keep the hand on the floor if that helps you keep your shoulders more upright. And then lean forward just a little bit so you're towards the front edge of your pelvis. Good. Pull the left baby toes back. Push through the big toe mound of your left foot. Squeeze the arms in towards the center of your chest and open through your ribs. Belly in and open, but push through the legs. Nice. Nice, Mark. You can turn a little more to the left. You can even put that left hand back on your couch if you wanted. Yeah, there you go. Good, you guys. And then bring it all the way back to center, please. Squeeze that left knee in. Good job. And then extend the left leg straight out on the floor. Bend your right knee in. Place the bottom of the foot to the inside of your left thigh. Let the knee go wide. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Little twist to your left. Bow over the left leg. Good. Continue to keep turning your belly here, because what really creates space in your lower back is how much you can turn from that low part of your trunk. Good. Baby toe pulls back, big toe pushes forward. And then optional here is to come into the twist. So the right hand is coming to the outer left ankle or shin. Good. Left, turning the belly to the left hand can come to your left hip. It can come back behind your head, or you can stretch that left arm over the ear, whichever feels the most accessible. Good, but you're turning your ribs, you're turning your ribs, you're turning your ribs. So turn, 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 turn. And then again, if you have your arm over your ear, maybe you can twist enough or turn enough that you can bring that left hand to your left foot. Good, so both hands can actually hug the ankles or the feet. Nice, Harriet. Good, Jessica. Good. Nice, Sarah. And then slowly release, unwind that twist, come all the way back up. Nice, you guys. Good, bring the right knee back up in towards your chest. Lift the foot up off the floor. Left hand reaches for the baby toe edge, so you're crossing your body, reaching for the outer edge of the foot. Extend your right foot forward in front of you, so it's straight in line with your right hip, so it's not gonna cross the body, it's gonna push wide. Good, and then you're turning your belly to the right arm comes back behind you. Good, again, fingers can stay on the floor if that helps you stay lifted in your shoulders, and then lean forward towards the front edge of your pelvis. Good. And even here, you're pushing your right inner thigh wide, you're pushing your right inner knee wide. So Jane, I would even let your toes turn out just a little bit so that you can really push the inner knee a little bit wider. Yeah. Other way, push your knee the other way. There you go. Yep, and wide, wide, wide. That's it. Good, you guys. Big toe pushes forward, baby toe pulls back. One more breath, pull yourself deeper in. And then slowly release, come on back to center. Nice. Good, bend both knees, please. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. Let your knees go wide. Baddha Konasana, fall into it however you'd like. That doesn't mean be lazy about it. It just means do the actual positioning the way that you prefer. Nice, you guys. One more breath, drop your chest wider. Drop your mind back into your breath if it's fallen somewhere else. And then walk yourself back up, please. Good, scoot forward on your mat, come onto your backs. Take your legs up to the sky. Good, I want you to point your toes. Yep, point the toes. And you're gonna I want you to cross your right ankle in front of your left ankle. Good, and it's like you're gonna crisscross your feet. So you're gonna cross right foot in front of left and then switch it, left foot in front of right. Little motions, and then switch and switch and switch and switch and switch and switch. Yeah, keep your toes pointed. Keep your legs nice and straight. So you're switching and switching and switching and switching. This is for your inner thighs. Switching and switching and switching and switching. This is an old ballet move. Keep going. Switch and switch and switch and switch. Good. Now Jessica's doing it as a true ballerina. Keep your legs straight up and down, Jessica. Yeah, there you go. But you're doing it. That's it. Switch and switch and switch. Strong feet, please. Point your toes. Good. Switch and switch and switch. Faster, 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 faster. Inner thighs, inner thighs, inner thighs, inner thighs. Nice, Dana. Good, Kristen. Good, Lynn. Nice, Tom. Tom's rocking it. Mark's rocking it. Good job, you guys. Good. And then come to stillness, please. Let both legs drop wide into a straddle. Wow. Do whatever you want with your feet. Point or flex. Maybe do both. Alternate point and flex. Maybe roll your ankles. Good. Beautiful. One more deep breath. Let your thighs go wide. And then bend your knees into happy baby. So your knees just move towards your armpits right from where you were. And then you pull those heels to stack on top of your knees. Reach for your ankles or your feet. Good. Nice here if you can have the elbows inside your knees so that you can push your elbows out into your knees and you can squeeze your knees in towards your elbows. So again, you're getting some of that energy of the inner thighs and the inner shins. So the shins are hugging in, but you're pushing wide. You're getting that wideness through the thighs, through the knees. Awesome. And then bring the knees back together in front of the chest. Good. Wrap the right thigh on top of the left like you would for eagle. So wrap the legs. And then scoot your hips over to the right and drop your legs to the left, spinal twist. If twisting with the legs wrapped like this does not feel good, go ahead and unwrap them. Maybe just have the right knee crossing over and the left leg straight. Good. Nice, you guys. Unwind the legs, come back to center, please. Switch the cross, so take the other leg on top, left leg on top of right. Scoot your hips over to your left and drop your knees to the right. And again, if the knees don't like this position in a twist, don't stay in it. And just bring the left knee over the body, keep the right leg extended out to the floor. Good. And then slowly release, unwinding the legs, come back to center. Plant your feet. One bridge pose is your final pose. So plant the feet, set the arms, either elbows bent or the arms straight. Good. And then from your armpits, rise up, get wide through your chest, and then begin to lift the hips up to follow that lift of the armpits. Dig your heels down and back. Breathe yourself really, really wide and long through the front of the body, the back of the body. And can you hear the sound Om in your mind? Endless cycle that is all one vibration, that's all one energy. It's so simple if you don't pull it apart. It's just Om. It's like you are so simple, huge and magnificent, but simple if you don't pull yourself apart. Release those hips back down to the floor, please. Good. If you'd like, hug the knees in one more time. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees. Squeeze. And then release, stretch the legs out in front of you. Arms come alongside you, palms face up. Shavasana. Maybe use Om as your meditation while you're in Shavasana. Just internally hear the sound. Or don't. Let your mind go and see what comes through it. Your mind and your breath become one and the same. Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath. Letting the body begin to stretch, move, whatever ways serve it well. As you're ready, draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to your right side. Take a moment there before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Bring the hands together in front of the heart center or whatever mudra, whatever hand position has been serving you well. So we practice yoga to bring the mind into the here and now, to keep it focused in the here and now, and to unite it again with that universal energy that is the breath, that is underlying everything that the mind thinks that it knows. And that what the mind thinks it knows gets complicated. But what's underneath it is simple because it's whole. Nothing is pulled apart. Everything is simply what it is. And so we're really practicing to come into that awareness that what's in front of you right now is that this is it. There's no great secret that somehow you're going to make life happen the way that you think that it should or want it to look. This is it, right? You're every day walking the dog, feeding the cat, brushing your hair, brushing your teeth. All of that, this is it. It's just life. And if you can feel that as being the fullness of being, you can feel that as the fullness of everything, then there's nothing else to run to or from. You don't need anything else, and you never question if what you have or what you are is enough. Because how could it not be? So this is what we're practicing, is that awareness. Can you drop into this moment, the carrying wood and chopping wood and carrying water? Can you drop into that and know that this is everything? And that all you have to do ever is practice just living. So give yourself a break, whatever you're trying to achieve. But because this moment is all you've got, and it's everything. So be in it. That's the practice, that's the goal, that's yoga. End result. Here you are. Close the sound of Om, deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, great rest of your weekend, your week, until I see you again. I will unmute you.